So, today we are going to discuss about the first historical period of English literature that is known as Anglo-Saxon period or Old English period. So, first of all, the timing of this particular period is from 450 to 1066 AD. But if we want to know the Anglo-Saxon period, we have to learn the historical background of English people before 450 AD. So let us clear this portion first. The Celts were the first inhabitants of Britain. Who were Celts? Celts were a tribe, and it's unknown that when the Celts came to Britain. So, when the Celts were there in Britain, the Roman invasion happened in 55 BC. Actually, they come to Britain for business purpose, like the Britishers who came to India. So, when the Celts and the Romans were there in Britain, a wild tribe, Picts, attacked over them. For saving themselves, the Romans built a wall around their land. This wall is called Hadrian Wall. And after building the wall in 122 AD, the Picts' attack was decreased. Now, in 407 BC, the Rome was attacked by Visigoths. Visigoths is a tribe, and as a result of this attack, the Roman have to left the Britons. So when the Roman left the Britons, by taking this chance, the Picts again started to attack over Celts. Now the Celts, for saving themselves, invited three Germanic tribes, and the three Germanic tribes were first Angles, second Saxons, and the third one is Jutes. After the coming of the three tribes, the particular era Anglo-Saxon started from 450 AD. Now, why this particular era is called Anglo-Saxon period? This is actually the period is called Anglo-Saxon period because of the name of two Germanic tribe, Angles and Saxons, who came to Britain in 450 AD. So after their coming, this particular name of the land, Britain, is converted to England. Why? Because from the name of the Angles, this land is called Anglo land. Why? Because the Angles lived there, and after it more transformation, this land is called England. After a long period of time, the Angles and Saxons started to attack over Celts, and as a result of this, Celts went to Wales and Cornwall. This is the two places of Scotland. And when the Celts went to Scotland, the Angles and the Saxons set their kingdom in Northumbria, Mercia, East Anglia, Sussex, and Wessex. In these five particular places, the Angles and Saxons set their kingdom. So that's all about the historical background of Anglo-Saxon period. Now we move to Anglo-Saxon literature. Before started reading the Anglo-Saxon literature, we have to keep in mind that there were no written book found in this particular era. Only 4 manuscripts were found in this era, and those manuscripts are: first Beowulf manuscript, second Exeter book, third Junius manuscripts, fourth Vercelli manuscripts. Now, what kind of writing were found in these particular manuscripts? First of all, there were epic poetry, next sermons, next Bible translations, next chronicles, and next hagiography. Now, what is hagiography? Hagiography is written on the lives of the saints. So At first, we discussed about the Anglo-Saxon poetry. Now, Anglo-Saxon poetry can be divided into two parts. First, pagan poetry and Christian poetry. What is pagan poetry? Pagan poetry means pre-Christian poetry, and the Christian poetry is started uh, after coming of Augustine. Now we started pagan poetry. So pagan poetry can be divided into two parts: heroic poem or epic poem and elegy or lyrics. So first of all, Anglo-Saxon poetry can be divided into two parts, pagan and Christian, and after that, pagan poetry can be divided into two parts, heroic poem or epic poem, and the next one is elegy or lyrics. So now we discussed about the pagan heroic poem or epic poem. First pagan heroic or epic poem is Beowulf. Beowulf is our earliest literary works found in Beowulf manuscripts. It's about the fighting of Beowulf with Grendel, Grendel's moms, and Dragonfly. Who is Grendel? Grendel is a monster, and this Beowulf is written about 3182 lines. And the next Anglo-Saxon pagan heroic poetry is Widsith. Widsith means far traveler, and it's a kind of travelogue, and it's about 150 lines. Actually, the poem expresses the wandering life of the gleeman. And the third poem is Dewar's Lament. And the third one is uh, Wanderer. Actually, we discussed Dewar's Lament in Anglo-Saxon elegiac poetry, and the Wanderer is about 63 lines. Number fourth heroic or Anglo-Saxon epic poem is the Battle of Brunanburh. The Battle of Brunanburh was happened between the Athelstan and Constantine in 937 AD, and this battle was won by Athelstan. Number 4, the Battle of Maldon. The Battle of Maldon was fought between English and Danes in 991 AD, and Danes won this battle. Number 5, the battle at or the fight at Finnsburg. It's about 48 lines, attack on Finns upon the Danish guests. Now we move to Anglo-Saxon elegiac poem or lyrical poem. So the first poem is the Wanderer, the second one is the Seafarer, the third one is the Wife's Lament, the fourth one is the Husband's Message, and the fifth one is Dewar's Lament. And all these works were found in Exeter book. Now we move to the second part of our Anglo-Saxon literature, that is Anglo-Saxon Christian poetry. There were two major poets found in Anglo-Saxon Christian poetry. First Caedmon and the second one is Cynewulf. Caedmon is called the father of Old English poetry. You have to keep in mind that Chaucer is called the father of English poetry and Caedmon is called the father of Old English poetry. So Caedmon, there were no signed works of Caedmon, rather attributed works. What are the rather attributed works? First Genesis, Exodus, Christ and Juliana, Judith, that's what the attributed poem. And the second writer of this kind of Christian poetry is Cynewulf. Cynewulf signed works are Juliana, Christ Ellen, the Tales of the Apostles. And what are the attributed works of Cynewulf? First of all, The Dreams of the Road, The Phoenix, and Andreas. That's all about Anglo-Saxon poetry. And we move to Anglo-Saxon prose. Anglo-Saxon prose is now we move to Anglo-Saxon prose. There were three or four major poets found in Anglo-Saxon prose. First, Alfred. Alfred is called the father of English prose. Alfred is mainly a translator, so his famous translates are Bede's Ecclesiastical History of English Literature, Orosius's Universal History and Geography, Boethius's Consolation of Philosophy, Pope George's Shepherd's Book. And the next writer of this particular kind of writing is Alfred. Alfred's works are The Lives of the Saints, and the second one is Catholic Homilies, and the third writer of this particular kind of writing is Wolfstone. Wolfstone one writing is found in literature, that is Sarmo, Lupi, and Angels. So that's all about the Anglo-Saxon literature or Anglo-Saxon period.